Executive Director of Coal Creek Meals on Wheels, and I want to give you a little update today about our current programming. As many of you know, we've had just incredible, unprecedented growth within our organization in the past several months. To give you a little bit of background, we saw a big spike at the beginning of the pandemic, like many of our peer organizations in the community. But then those numbers kind of dropped a little bit, and so in 2021 we actually saw a decrease in demand. But then at the end of 2022, we started to see an increase again. We weren't really sure at the time what was causing the increase. We hadn't done, significant marketing efforts or anything like that, but the numbers started to climb. And then on March 1st, the pandemic era increased benefits for SNAP ended, and we saw everything skyrocket at that point. So we are definitely in the middle of unprecedented demand for our organization. We saw an increase in demand also with our Summer Meals for Kids program this year, which was the first time we'd really marketed that program. And that began at the end of May. So we saw a big increase in demand at that time too. All told, in June, we served more than 6,000 meals across our communities of Lafayette, Louisville, Erie, and Superior. In July, we served 5,500 meals, even with 2 days closed for the holiday. So this is more than we have ever served in the history of our organization, and it's a 75% increase from where we were last year at this time. So this is huge for our organization. We've never seen anything like this. As you can imagine, this has required us to make a lot of shifts in the way that we operate over the past several months. So we've had to make some significant adjustments. We purchased a new refrigerator because it was difficult to, well, first of all, our walk-in refrigerator is very small, but it also was difficult to keep things separated in the way that they're required for health code with just the one refrigerator. So we've added an additional commercial refrigerator to our back room. We also added additional staffing to our kitchens. We knew that the demand was increasing significantly, and so we wanted to make sure we weren't burning out our current staff. So we did bring in some additional staffing in the kitchen. We also added some additional supports for our client services manager. She was completely overwhelmed, as you can imagine, with intakes. And so we asked another staff person to help her make sure that we were still delivering on that more than a meal services that we provide for our clients. So we reached out to all of our clients to make sure that they were still receiving the services they need, find out if they needed to be connected to any other local service providers, and made sure that they could still afford the meals that we were providing for them. So that's been a huge help as well. We had to add 2 additional routes. So we split off 2 new routes. Previously we had 18, we now have 20 routes. That required us, of course, to recruit new drivers to drive those routes, but it kept the routes a little bit more manageable. Some of them were getting pretty big, and we didn't want to overwhelm our current delivery drivers. So we think this is probably the new normal. We know that demand has stabilized at this point. We're not getting quite as many intakes each week, but they are still coming in, and there aren't a lot of additional resources available for the folks in our community who really need these services. So we think this is probably the new normal. We are really ramping up our fundraising efforts to keep up with this demand. Our expenses haven't gone up significantly, but they have gone up some, particularly in food and containers, which is sort of a set cost based on the number of meals we're providing. But we're ramping up our fundraising efforts to meet that need. We just want to say thank you to all of our community partners for supporting us through this time of growth. We've never seen anything like it, and we could not do this work without the support of our partners, our volunteers, our donors, our staff, and everyone in the community who helps to support and give us referrals as well. Thank you, and we hope you will continue to support us during these next few months as we figure out where we go next.